One of the great things about this new building is the amount of space that's located here. As a student, I get to experience a student lounge, a space where students can gather and talk, separate study spaces with separate student study corrals and desks where students can gather, study, have chit-chat. But within the building itself, we have a very large library with an excellent library collection, as well as the Anglican and United Church archives.
A lot of academics visit the archives, especially during the summer months. And as well, there are some VST students who have used the archives. But by far the most popular use of the archives is the genealogical research.
With other postgraduate institutions, we're finding more and more these days our students are international students coming from away to learn what they can here to take back to their communities. And a lot of these students actually look for work on campus because that's what their visa allows. At the library, we're able to provide a place where people can get work while they're here. We're looking at providing further services actually in their own languages as students from their own countries come as well. It's a benefit to us to have people here with languages other than English. It's also a place where we can provide a little bit more instruction in English as they're learning the tasks associated with working in the library. And as a librarian, I'm becoming more and more familiar with providing services in languages other than English.
We know that financial issues are large in students' lives, so we really have three ways that students can finance their education. The first is through government student loans. Both American and Canadian students are eligible for their federal student loan programs. The second is through entering year scholarships. We have a limited number of scholarships available for students entering a program. Everyone who applies are considered for them. And the third option is for all students who have any financial need at all. We cover up to 50% of their tuition through generous bursary donations that have been donated to the school.
The school has a real strength in academics, and particularly focused within theological circles. There's quite an openness to exploration, which sometimes, depending on what traditions one's from, that's not always open. So we have I find a place where people really are allowed to explore and to think critically for themselves.
I think I've been really interested to learn just about the diversity of theologies that there are within the various traditions, and then there are people like me who kind of come from no tradition, and to hear people kind of grappling with some of those perspectives has been really interesting as well.
I come here as a research scholar, so I really enjoy the resources that the library has, which I don't have in Indonesia. Well, I knew that some books exist, but I never saw it in our library. We just have very, very old books, and we cannot do many things with that. So that's why when I came here, I saw the library, and it just really helped me. And I also enjoy the academic atmosphere that we have here, the relationship between professors and students. Like, I can go to meet my advisor, just make an appointment anytime, and I can visit her and talk about my study, my progress and everything. And also the classes that I took so far are just really, really wonderful.
It's a very welcoming situation. When you come into the doors, you feel a different, because you get to mingle with so many different people from other places, and then where you get to communicate back and forth with the teachers and bring your experiences of what happens from your perspective. And then with summer barbecues that we have here on the first week, and then just the different ongoing process of what happens in the school. And it's really, it is really enjoyable because you get to interact with so many different people.
As a student, I got to explore an avenue of Christianity that allowed me to reclaim a faith tradition. I was very broken within the tradition of Christianity coming to VST, and found a lot of healing to take place here as a student, which has allowed me to continue to even work here to this day and to experience the joy of the school and of the community.
I applied for a scholarship from an Episcopal, it's a small, I guess it's a society on the East Coast in Connecticut, and I wasn't sure whether the the monies would be transferred, I mean, whether they would support me going to a Canadian school, whether they'd rather me go to an Episcopal school. And so I called them in Connecticut one morning, and I said, well, I just want to make sure that I'm applying for a scholarship from you, and would you be willing to support me as I go to a Canadian school? And he said, well, what school is it? And I said, Vancouver School of Theology. And he said, oh, that's a very good school.
A VST education is a first-class education. It is an education which invites the learner not only to travel to the heights of scholarship, but to the depths of personal meaning. It is an education which invites the pilgrim, the traveler, to new vistas, to new horizons of thought and of engagement. You are welcome here. Whatever your age, whatever your experience, your theological orientation, your question, you are welcome here. The door is open. Come journey with us.